Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. It is Freedmen Friday time, and we have not located our guest yet. We still have a lot to talk about. We can take a look at what's going on in San Francisco and around the country, and it is amazing. We can also talk about the statement, or I don't know what you want to call it, proclamation, the policy position statement of our president yesterday when it comes to reparations. The president pulled out of 66 different international organizations this week, UN organizations, and among the things he was loudest about is his hatred, I'll put it that way, because that's pretty much how it is, of what he called a global reparations agenda. He calls it racist. He did this via executive order on Wednesday, pulling the United States out of a coalition that the State Department says has been pushing for what they call unconstitutional and racist policies, including global reparations. The UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent, he claims they promote racial grievances and victim-based social policies within the world's governing body that are, he claims, counter to the 14th Amendment and the Equal Protection Clause. And this is, 101, MAGA 101, their playbook, which is to take affirmative action, DEI, even scholarship and angel investor programs that seek to help Black people, and labeling them as racist or labeling them as reverse discrimination. That is the only thing that his Justice Department Civil Rights wing is working on at the moment, are things that discriminate against white people. And it is in lockstep with the philosophies of Elon Musk. They're saying that white South Africans are being discriminated against. I read a post yesterday from Musk where he claims that there are more laws discriminating against white people in South Africa now than there were during apartheid, which is completely ridiculous. In apartheid, Black people were not even allowed to travel freely. They weren't allowed to live in certain areas. They were not allowed to own things. It was basically Jim Crow on steroids. And that is, the remnants of that are still in place in South Africa. The white people own everything. They control everything except the government. And they own all of the land. How did they get it? They stole it during apartheid and before that, right? And there was never any accountability. There was never any redistribution of wealth or land. And so that assertion is ridiculous. But it's the same mentality that Donald Trump is asserting on the world stage when he pulls out of these UN bodies, particularly blasting reparations as something that is victim-based. Well, yeah, because guess what? We were victims of enslavement, of Jim Crow, of racially based eminent domain, of property seizure, of property destruction with no restitution, no recoupment. So, of course, that's just very similar to something like the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust, for which the United States has gladly paid reparations and continues to do so. But yet, when it comes to black people, it is racist, according to this administration. So it's clear, if it wasn't clear before, and I'm saying this because I've had, over the course of 2 years that we've been doing Freedmen Friday, and this is a sad day because I believe it's the first time we've had someone fully not available. I hope Dr. Horne is okay. This is Dr. David, not Dr. Gerald. That we've had someone, not make it to our Freedmen Friday discussion. But I've had many conversations over these 2 years that we've been doing this every Friday with rightward-leaning or MAGA-leaning reparationists who felt that President Donald Trump, with his background as a businessman, with the art of the deal in his back pocket, would be able to deliver reparations for freedmen, for the descendants of enslaved black Americans in this country, those who were designated freedmen by the United States government after the Civil War and who are owed a debt. Now, that is something that I know personally some reparationists who were in conversation with the president about this prior to. I know one activist that the Trump administration reached out to and said, he is in support of reparations. Will you, this black activist who shall go unnamed, support Trump, or at least agree to sit down and meet with him? And what that person said was, well, if he supports reparations, he doesn't need me for that. He doesn't need to meet with me. He doesn't need my endorsement. He should just go ahead and do it. But some of the others that met with him, and he made promises to those folks, and those folks campaigned for him, reparationists, those folks, I would love to hear what they have to say now, because this withdrawal from 66 different international bodies, and as I said, most loudly and proudly, the reparations work of the UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent, is a very clear statement that he not only doesn't support reparations, that he is moving to fight against reparations, saying that they are in violation of the 14th Amendment. So this is throwing down the gauntlet. This is throwing down the gauntlet, and now there's no more room for misinterpretation, no more room for wiggle room. People are just coming out. If you're supporting him now, you are supporting a president who has loudly and unequivocally stated that he does not support reparations. Tony Piggott, not Piggy, Piggott, who is the State Department principal spokesman, said America will no longer lend its credibility to racist organizations, which is hilarious. but also very sad. Radical activists who embrace DEI ideology and seek to compel the United States to adopt policies mandating race-based wealth redistribution will no longer be entertained. There it is. It couldn't get any clearer than that. Looking for some official response to that from my right-wing reparations friends. Looking for some official response to that from you. If you want to weigh in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Where do we go from here? You know, one of the things I'm most encouraged by, and we'll review some of this for those who haven't been paying attention, because it's hard to keep up with everything that's going on, is that on a local level, cities and counties and even states are moving forward with reparations initiatives. And that's what we've seen in San Francisco. I want to talk about that, get some reaction to that, what we're seeing in other cities as well. So what is the next step? What do we ignore him and just, don't call his attention to the many reparations task force, commissions, laws that are being passed? Do we ignore him and don't pay attention and just keep moving locally? Or do we push back loudly? Because, Santa Claus is coming to town. I mean, he knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. I was reading about the ICE, Immigration's Custom Enforcement, and their surveillance apparatus that they're putting in place, along with Israeli technology, Palantir technology, to track your social media, to track everything. So I'm sure they're tracking reparations if it's on their hit list. That's my question for a Freedmen Friday. We are reaching out to some other folks to see if someone would like to join me, since we are not able to locate our scheduled guest for today. But we've got Fahima calling from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Fahima.
Habaragani and K Pasa, and Happy New Year to you, Dominique. This is my first time talking to you since the advent of the new year.
Yes, welcome to 2026.
Yeah, so I'm going to put this as respectful as possible. And I preface my comments as someone who was involved with reparations from the mid-'90s up until the time of the UN Conference Against Racism, where the permanent form of people of African ancestry came out of the Durban Declaration. And I assisted Bob Brown with his reparation lawsuit. And I'm just sharing that to give some context. Since then, I've simply been an observer. And this is the fact of the matter is, reparations has been used as a carrot weaponized by forces, and I'm going to say who those forces are: the Tanning Network and Steve Bannon. And I say this because many of the people, and I don't blame the people who were, to some degree, used, who were fighting to ensure that who didn't get reparations more so than they were fighting for reparations. Many of these folks were not even aware that there was an international element. And yes, many of the people from various commissions participated in many of the forums from Geneva, New York earlier this year, and we're planning to go in the spring to Switzerland.
Okay, hold that thought, Fahima. We'll continue this conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to partner with the Empowerment Congress once again for their 34th annual summit. The summit's theme is From Vision to Action, a forum to unlock participatory democracy, and will feature a nonpartisan gubernatorial candidate forum focused on issues of importance to the African American community. The summit is the signature public policy-oriented observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy during the national 3-day holiday weekend that celebrates his life. This year's summit will be held on Saturday, January 17th, 2026 at the California Science Center in Exposition Park from 9 to 11 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. All major announced candidates for California governor for the Democratic and Republican Party nominations have been invited to participate in the candidate forum, which will be moderated by Tavis Smiley. An all-star panel of journalists will pose questions to the candidates, and the forum will be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580. This is going to be a big year for local, state, and national politics. The political pulse of 2026 beats on KBLA Talk 1580.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beep when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
All righty. Well, this is exciting. This man's been working on reparations since before you could spell it. He is a political scientist, professor at Emeritus from Cal State Northridge and Southwest College. He was a professor of critical thinking and African history, former chair of the Pan-African Studies Department at Cal State Northridge. And he is the founder of the Reparations United Front. Dr. David Horne, welcome.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning to your great listeners.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Okay, when did you start working on reparations, Dr. Horne? Can you give me a year? approximately, when did it come to your attention? Because I know it's not just been a sidebar for you. This has been a life mission.
1993.
1990.
No, 1973.
Oh, that's a big difference, Dr.
Yeah.
Horne. 1973, give or take 20 years. 1973.
I was at the University of Miami trying to go to law school because I had been determined that black folk needed more lawyers. We needed more attorneys. We needed more people who could understand that the law was supposed to be equal and that our best shot at moving forward was getting more movement-oriented lawyers.
Okay. Movement lawyers to litigate movement issues. And how does that lead to reparations for you?
Because after satisfying myself that I could make it, I could do law, that first year is always very questionable. Anyway, after I found out I could do it, an issue came up in Florida that killed my thirst for law. It made me understand that I would flame out because people were simply too racist. There was a Ocala, Florida school district that had summarily dismissed all of the graduating black students in that year because there had been a racial riot in the at the school, and even though a number of the white students brought brickbats and other equipment for the racial riot, only the black students were suspended, and the superintendent decided, well, since we got them suspended, we might as well flunk them all out of school. So every black student who had caused any difficulty that year was simply suspended from school and stopped from graduating. The school superintendent said that the black students had to write an apology to the city of Ocala. Otherwise, they could not graduate that year. That meant all scholarships, all anything. They were all gone. As a intern working with a law practice out of Gainesville, Florida, I was supposed to be sitting up in the room being quiet. And when the school superintendent said that I could not be quiet, I got agitated and wanted to get involved in the discussion, and the lawyers had to send me outside. After that session, I decided I couldn't go into law. It would be a waste of my time. I needed to get into a position where I could make some change and they couldn't fire me.
Right.
I could say what I wanted to say. I could write what I wanted to write. And
reparations provided that platform.
Right.
But 1973, reparations is not a mainstream issue. I mean,
No.
I know that reparations goes back to Callie House, back to the 1800s. It's not new in the 2000s, but I do remember talking about it with Dr. Dick Gregory
Right.
on the air in the 90s,
Right.
and we were considered a little loco to be talking about it back then. So I can only imagine how folks were looking at you in 1973.
Oh, they thought I was crazy. Everything was Black Panthers and that kind of agitation, and I got involved in that and then got involved. We had to make waves. We had to do something to identify we were not satisfied with our position in society. Like Frederick Douglass said, there must be struggle. Without struggle, there's no progress.
Right. Well, I want to get your thoughts on some of the things that are happening now and ask you to put on your political science hat about where some of these initiatives are going and get your thoughts about where we are with reparations. Real quick, though, I want to go back to Fahima, who was on the phone with us because she was about to land. She was talking about reparations and how she believes Steve Bannon has weaponized the issue, among other things. Go ahead, real quick, Fahima.
Yes. So first, I want to say greetings to Dr. Horne. Is that Dr. Horne there?
It is Dr. Gerald Horne, and we only have 40 seconds here.
David, not Gerald.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know you're David. I've known you forever. Go ahead.
Dr. Horne, this is Fahima, who used to work with Dorothy Bentley Lewis.
Yes.
And the late Dr. Mary Hoover, who I know you know.
Yes.
Okay, you're a radio person. You know that you just ate up all the time you were about to land. We'll continue this conversation after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. About 16,000 nurses at 6 New York City hospitals plan to strike Monday over stalled talks demanding better pay, benefits, staffing, and violence protections. Nancy Higgins is the New York State Nurses Association president.
In the face of the worst flu outbreak in recorded history, management is demanding cuts to healthcare benefits for the nurses.
The city will divert patients if the walkout happens. During a House Judiciary hearing, Representative Jasmine Crockett blasted Republicans for pushing anti-immigration bills after Renee Good's death by an ICE agent. She called for decency and accountability, saying no one is above the law. And Sean Diddy Combs will serve out his full sentence. President Trump told the New York Times he will not grant the pardon Diddy requested. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The University of Miami, the last school selected for the 12-team college football playoffs, is heading to the national championship game. Miami hung on for a 31-27 win Thursday night over Mississippi in the semifinals. The Hurricanes will play the winner of tonight's Indiana-Oregon game on January 19th at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The Lakers and Clippers are back in action tonight. The Lakers are at home against Milwaukee. The Clippers are in Brooklyn. In Minneapolis Thursday night, the Timberwolves held a moment of silence before their game against Cleveland for Renee Good, the 37-year-old woman who was fatally shot Wednesday in her car by an ICE immigration agent. Tonight at 6, Out of Bounds is moving to prime time. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for 60 minutes of sports chatter with some black folks flavor. You can be a part of the conversation at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Tired of the same old sports talk? Ready to go where the real conversation happens? Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, host of Out of Bounds, the sports show that doesn't play it safe. Every Friday at 6 p.m. on KBLA Talk 1580, my co-host Neil Scarborough and I get you ready for the weekend. We take you beyond the highlight reels and into the stories that matter. The controversial calls, the game-changing plays, the athletes making headlines for all the right reasons and sometimes the wrong ones. From the NFL to the NBA, college ball to the pros, if it's happening in sports, we're breaking it down with no filter and all opinion. Tune in to Out of Bounds with me, Ray Richardson, and my co-host Neil Scarborough, live every Friday at 6 p.m. only on KBLA Talk 1580, because the best conversations happen out of bounds. KBLA Talk 1580, where Los Angeles talks.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? Didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580. So I was saying all that, asking you that, Dr. David Horne, because I just wanted to give people the context of how long you've been working on this issue, how important it is to you. You're not a reparationist come lately. And also now asking you to put on your political science reparationist hat to look at some of these developments. Fahima was talking about the weaponization of reparations and how she thinks Bannon and those folks have made it into an issue that scares their base, the MAGA base. And I was saying to you off the mic that the UN Permanent Forum on People of African Descent, the withdrawal from that by the Trump administration and his saying that reparations is racist, is part of that weaponization. And I wonder how you respond to both of those points.
There has always been within the movement an attempt by some crazy white people to promote the idea that black people just want revenge and that you have to kill any effort toward reparations or payback because all they're doing is trying to settle the score. It worked in the 1930s, 1940s, and as you mentioned to me earlier, Elon Musk is trying to bring that same kind of energy here in the United States based on his background in South Africa.
Right, but he hasn't been in South Africa his whole life. He has these fairy tales in his head based on whatever his dad told him. He was raised in Canada and the United States.
No, he was actually raised in South Africa.
I mean, since college he's been here.
Yeah.
His whole adult life has been here.
His adult life, you're right, he's been out.
And he's experienced nothing but the privilege of apartheid. No.
Yes and no. Even though his family was not part of the Vorabon, the white domination of South Africa in terms of that particular political orientation, he went to school with people like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get bogged down in talking about him. I don't think he knows much about South Africa today, was my point.
No, he does not.
And he says that he just tweeted that there's more laws against white people now in South Africa than there were against black people under apartheid.
And he definitely does not know his own history. That's not true at all.
Yeah. So what do you make of the Trump administration pulling out of these UN bodies?
They won't last. As soon as Trump is gone, that will be repaired. We have, I don't want to put your radio station in trouble. So
we're already in trouble.
Well, we have a criminal in charge of a criminal enterprise. He only thinks of what benefits him personally. We're not talking about somebody looking at what is beneficial for the country or for the rest of us. So a lot of damage that he's going to do now is temporary damage, and it will be repaired. So coming out of UN bodies is not going to last long. He doesn't see any benefit for him personally, so basically
So you don't see that as a blow for reparations?
No, I don't. I see it as a temporary setback. There have been temporary setbacks for the last 75, 80 years.
San Francisco has passed a reparations funding initiative. It doesn't have any money in it, but it's a reparations motion that was put in front of the Board of Supervisors. They gave final approval. It creates a fund, but it's an unfunded fund, but the mechanism is there. And their own commission suggested up to $5 million for each qualifying black adult. Now, there's only 5% of the city at this point that's black, but it's still unfunded.
It's unfunded, but it is a major advance forward. Whether it will stay in place once, times have changed, once we've gotten a little better situation in California and in the country, whether it will stay past, we don't know yet, but it is a major step forward. It is a lot more than most reparationists in California and other places ever thought would happen.
Yeah, I think that's right. I never thought I'd see all of this in my lifetime.
Yeah, it's like the decision to pay the black folks in Palm Springs, to pay them.
Right, Attorney Ariva Martin's case. Yeah.
Exactly, and one of the things that was so odd about that was the African Americans did not own the property that they were removed from. Right. In Palm Springs, they had their personal.
They were renters, yeah.
Well, all of that land was owned by the Native Americans,
right? And who allowed the black folks and Latinos to be there because they couldn't get rentals elsewhere in Palm Springs.
That's right. That's right. And the white government had allowed them to be there because they needed the labor.
Right.
But yeah, it was a situation that we did not think would work because property was not owned, but it did work, and they did get paid. And the decision in San Francisco is the second time that there's been an advance forward. But again, reparations is not just about money. It never has been. This is about respect. This is about understanding our journey, understanding what we've contributed, understanding our value to this country.
But money and land resources are important, are they not?
Yes, they are. The problem is we keep getting fooled.
How do we get fooled?
The 40 acres and a mule issue, for example. We thought they were actually giving us what we deserved, giving us land. And according to the Constitution, you cannot take land from citizens. And the Confederates were still citizens. They didn't give up that part of their
lives. So we
should
have just excommunicated them from citizenship, then it would have been all good.
Which is what Thaddeus Stevens tried to do. He wrote a bill to do that, but they didn't pass it. They had to be, again, part of the whole reparations movement has been law and how it can be properly applied to benefit folk as opposed to taking it away from them.
I mean, it's an interesting conversation considering they're relooking at citizenship under the 14th Amendment right now, the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but that's not going to change. They're not going.
I don't think they will either. But I hope we're right because we were wrong about Trump. We didn't think he'd make it through his first term.
Well, yeah, we didn't. And we are talking physically. We didn't think he'd make it through. For this particular term, all of you black folk out there, vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure everybody you're in contact with who is an adult, make sure they vote.
Well, I was talking to you about the San Francisco, reparations funding mechanism, and off mic we were talking about California State, what has happened so far under Newsom. And even Los Angeles has a reparations commission. They've put forth a great report, and we're waiting for the city council and the mayor to take action. But you didn't seem to feel confident that anything was going to happen right away in the near future.
No, and I have not change my point of view about that. I will say this: California is leading the country in coming up with positive movement forward for the whole reparations idea. And strange that that's in California, when California came into the Union as a non-slave state.
Right, but as that report lays out so beautifully, there was a lot of slaves here.
Not a lot, but...
Well, I mean, enough for the majority of the people mining the gold to be enslaved persons that were brought in by people who didn't want to do that work themselves.
But Mississippi would have been a lot more logical place for the reparations movement than California. But California is showing the country how to get it done. And Baltimore, Maryland is now joining forces with California in terms of moving the whole reparations issue forward.
And to the point of overriding a gubernatorial veto, which was pretty... Right. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was. Because
I was too.
I agreed with the governor that now was not the time to talk about setting up a reparations commission. We had more important things to do, but like him, you have to shrug and do what your constituency tells you to do.
You agreed with the governor vetoing it.
Yes, I did.
But now you're riding with the folks that overrode the veto?
You have to.
You have to. But does that mean you don't support H.R. 40 anymore, that the time for studies has passed?
No, it does not mean I don't support H.R. 40. It does mean that I am convinced that we need to go back into the rooms and reevaluate where we are, where we're trying to go. We need some think tanks to lay out a plan forward. We are still trying to base our process on old thinking. We have to come up with a better idea of how to go from point A to point B to point C. It's great what they did in Maryland. It's great what we've done in California, but that's simply not going to be enough.
So your view is that it's going to be a long time before we get to real reparations.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Mr. Gregory said 50 years. I think that was about 20 years ago. We had that last conversation. So that would be another 30. Do you agree with that? Are we talking hundreds of years? Are we talking, what do you mean when you say the long view? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about we need to get more black folk in positions of authority. We need to get a...
You know, with all due respect, I'm going to push back on that. I mean, Friday Jones is in the chat saying that the L.A., he said, I'm going to quote her exactly, his point of view on the city of L.A. is accurate. The mayor has made that clear, meaning that she doesn't plan to move forward with reparations. And we, you know, we've seen that in San Francisco. It was London Breed, the black mayor, who got rid of the Reparations Commission, and now they have a white mayor who's brought it back. And I believe it's less maybe politically perilous for them, or they think it is. But I don't know. Will black faces in high places bring reparations?
We need a plan, a better plan for black faces in high places. That's what I'm advocating. We need to come back from the battle lines, go back and to the planning situations. We need a better plan. And whenever we are talking about getting the majority of this country to pay money or to make a decision about gifting resources to us.
To black people.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to be a problem when it's to corporations.
Oh, no.
To, you know, Japanese people, Jewish people, farmers, anybody except...
Anybody but us.
But us, yeah. And that's racism.
Yeah, and it's also a refusal to accept the fact that they did some people wrong, and they need to pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, and Friday also points out Obama was not pro-reparations in his engagement with the UN. But again, I think that's a lot to ask the first black president, and I have said consistently that should be Biden, that should be Trump, that should be, you know, someone who's not just trying to president while black.
Exactly.
Andre Parvenu asks, who do you think is the reparations candidate for governor of California?
I don't think there is one. Tom Steyer may end up winning the whole thing because he's trying to be a tough guy and talking about...
And he has deep pockets.
Yeah, and he's talking about the same thing that Mamdani talked about in New York, housing. And
I don't think he has enough name recognition.
No, he doesn't, but I don't think name recognition is going to be what this particular vote is going to be about.
You may be right. Katie Porter is running in the front of the pack, and Adam Kinzinger, is that his name?
I am an admirer of Katie Porter, but I don't think she's going to win either.
Eric Swalwell, that's the new guy that jumped in. He's definitely not a reparationist. He's a pro on 36 Democrat.
Right.
So a very conservative Democrat.
Right. And after our current governor, who has been exciting to say the least, we may be going back more conservative. I mean, we often have political swings like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we do. But I also think that Swalwell is posing as the next Newsom,
and
brash-spoken,
right.
White guy, good-looking white guy. But no, he's not. Why do you say that, though?
He has not demonstrated that he is concerned with what he would consider to be a fringe issue like reparations. He's much more into... Let's get back to law and order. Let's get back to more conservative principles. He has not demonstrated in any of his political career that he is willing to take that kind of step forward, that kind of risk.
Yeah, I mean, he was among the Democrats that voted to thank ICE for their service recently.
Yeah, he's a conservative Democrat.
For sure. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Reparations is our topic every Friday. Dr. David Horne, one of the reparationists I know who's been at it the longest, is with us, and we'll continue the conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
My name is Tyrone Owens, and this is my home for 23 years that burned in the fire. Me and my wife, Charlene, we had this whole yard decorated every year.
This was the house that sparkled throughout the entire neighborhood on all the holidays. It's a community that will never be the same due to the negligence of a utility company. So I am pretty upset about that.
We were nowhere near being able to rebuild with our insurance. It's going to cost $1 million to put your house back up.
I want to get back to that point where we were before the fire. I'm starting to get emotional, but I'll work through it. LA Fire Justice has been wonderful for us. They're just caring people. We have all faith in them.
Big ups to LA Fire Justice, who's given us hope to rebuild 100%.
Advertisement. Douglas Foxer, 221 East Walnut Street, Suite 100, Pasadena, California, 91101 is the attorney responsible for this ad.
LA Fire Justice is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions.
The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Okay, Dr. David Horne is here. I kind of feel like I should, we only have 5 minutes left. I kind of feel like I should let you say whatever you want to say and not even ask you any questions, because I know you could lecture on reparations for probably 6 hours straight.
Right. I don't think reparations is our major lantern in the nighttime, though. I don't think that is all that we need to be dealing with. Right now, there is an existential threat to the existence of the political life of this country. And however this goes, the black population is not ready. We can be victimized by it, but right now we don't have any plan forward. For example, all of us need to have the availability of dual citizenship someplace. We do not need to be left hanging. If these people in charge now blow up everything, and they are close to doing that.
They are.
There are dual citizenships available in Ghana and in several African countries. I think we need to avail ourselves of that information. I think we need to, again, think about getting into areas where we can plan our next steps forward and not just emotionally respond. We don't have the luxury of let's just throw it in the air and see what happens. I don't think we're there now. I think we have to literally plan our way out, as black folk had to do out of slavery. We had to plan our way out, not just wait and hope and pray. All of them will work sometime, but no, we have to plan now, not just pray, plan.
Dual citizenship, you're talking about exit strategies.
Yes, we are.
Should we need to get out of Dodge?
If we have to. We want to make sure that we survive. Survival is much more important than just getting in somebody's face and showing them that you're the man or you're the woman.
But yet we want to be courageous in this moment, right?
Yes. Courageous and wise. We have been through enough. So we know not to go this way because the swamp is that way. We know not to go that way because the cliff is that way. We need to take what we have learned, put it into a forward-thinking plan forward. Again, let me use Harriet Tubman as an example. Somebody was talking about, but she was just a black woman who did some good things. No, she was more than that. We are planning on escaping. We are planning on getting to another location. That's the plan. Planning on leaving, planning on getting. This is not just everybody run away. Everybody just throw your hands up and let's see what happens. Planning is going to be our salvation, but we got to do it and not spend as much time as we have been spending calling each other a bunch of names and saying I'm in charge and you shut up. We've been spending our time doing too many silly things when planning is what we need. For example, and I'll stop on this, when Martin Luther King and the black population in Montgomery, Alabama was faced with this strong decision, we are riding conveniences every day that we putting our money into, but we are being disrespected. We're having our black women drug away from seats. We're having people basically being called all kind of names. They're paying the money, but being called names. Now, we can keep doing that because it's convenient to be riding as opposed to walking. Or we can decide that respect is more important than just getting a ride. And they took some time, planned out how we are going to attack the bus company, and it worked. They brought the bus company to its knees. An economic boycott in this country based on what we bring to the country in every state would get us exactly what we needed. But to plan it and to get black folk to go along with the plan, that's what we're talking about.
Wish we had more time. Dr. David Horne, thank you so much for coming in.
You're quite welcome.
Yes, Sahara Ali is next. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. House Speaker Mike Johnson is urging calm after